Hey there, welcome back to the 10 Steps to Piping. So far you should have been making quite a bit of progress, I think, with the scale that you would have done in lesson 1 and the grace notes in lesson 2, the G, D and E grace notes. Now, as I said, if you master these grace notes, it'll set you up pretty much for all the rest of the embellishments that you need to learn the basics of bagpipes. So what we're going to do then today is we're going to take that one step further. So we're going to be using these grace notes in combination to learn something on the pipes which are called doublings. Now, doublings are pretty much as the name sounds. They sound like a double grace note. Basically, when you listen, you'll hear two distinct sounds coming from the grace notes, and hence it's called a doubling. The doubling is used a lot in music, in piping music, especially in transition, in the structure of the music, etc. So once you've learned this exercise, it's going to take quite a bit of doing because there's a lot to learn here, and it's going to be a lengthy video. But once you've learned this, the doublings and the GDEs, I reckon you're pretty much most of the way there. There's just a few more add-on embellishments that you learn from there, and then before you know it, you could probably be playing a standard type of tune on the bagpipes. We could probably play a tune just with the theme notes alone, but I think let's stick with this and let's see if we can learn the basics properly. Okay, so here goes. There's doublings up and down, up the scale and down the scale, but basically the main thing is each note has a doubling on it. Okay, so we'll start with the way that I'd like you to learn this is to learn the basic structure of the doubling itself, and then to practice it, I'm going to set it up for you, and I'm going to play the doubling slowly 4 times off each note. So 4 times off low A, should I say. So for example, if you're playing low A, you'll play the doubling 4 times. So that way, that repetition helps you to learn it. And that's pretty much how I learned doublings. So getting started, let's actually learn what the doublings are, right? So I'll take the chanter here. I've got it set up for you. Make it a little bit softer than that. Okay, so looking at the first doubling, we'll start on low A as the bass note. So the bass note is the note that you play before you play the doubling. In this case, it's the low A. Now we're going to play the high A doubling, and I'm going to show you the back of my finger. So what you do is you go to high A, okay, and then you just, can you hear me touching that note, the G? So you play low A. That's all you do. There's 2 types of ways you can play this. The doubling way is to slide the finger across, and then there's a strike where you touch it just like that. It's got a slightly different sound. So for today, we're looking at the doubling, which is just lift and slide the finger across a hole. Okay, high G, from low A, you play the high G, and then you literally just tap the hole like that. So it's low A, okay, that's the high G. Now the F is low A, is the bass note. It's like playing 2 G grace notes in a row. Okay, and there you can hear the doubling structure quite clearly because it goes dum 1 2, right? Bass note 1 2. Okay, play it slowly. Okay, play it quickly. You got it? Good. Now the E doubling is low A, G grace note to E. Okay, and then an F grace note, so it's lifting that note. So you're playing that one and that one after each other. When you play this, remember not to run these into each other. Okay, they need to be separated so you can hear 1 2 1 2, doubling, doubling. Okay, low A. Okay, that's real slow again. Okay, and how it should sound normally. You hear that? 1 2, you'll hear that's very tight, but you can hear them. Now we'll play the D, low A, the bass note, G grace note to D, okay, and then E grace note, which is that finger. Okay, again slow. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, from low A, grace note. Okay, and at normal tempo, doubling 1, 2. You should be able to hear that quite clearly. Then low A to C, low A, grace note to C, and D grace note to complete the doubling. Low A, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You got it? From the low A again, low A. That's at slow tempo. At normal tempo, it'll sound like this. Got it? Cool. Now B, low A, grace note to B, and then D grace note on the B. That's nice and slow. Right? 1, 2, 1, 2. Low A. Okay, good. You should have that. And then the last one, just in terms of the way we practice this exercise, or at least I do, is to practice the low A doubling. I go from low G. Okay, so it's low G, grace note, doubling grace note. Low G, grace note, doubling grace note. 1, 2. Okay, and at normal tempo. So, as I was saying, you can hear quite clearly that you get that doubling sound. 1, 2, doubling. Okay, so once you start practicing that and you get it to tempo, you'll be able to use that in the music, which adds quite a nice flavor to the music. Those types of embellishments, they're quite unique. So let's get going with the play along part now. So here's the part where you get to practice. I'm going to start this real slow for you, and then what I'll do is I'll play it at the normal tempo. All right? To practice this, or to play this routine, as I said earlier, we'll be using A as the bass note, and we'll play each doubling 4 times off of low A, starting at the high A and coming down the scale. So it'll be high A, high G, F, E, etc. You should be able to pick it up no problems if you play along with it enough, and if you do get stuck, then just come back to the part where I was explaining each doubling and make sure that you're playing that correctly. So let's get started.